So one time I was doing a show and tell kind of thing at my church, and I brought Sheila, my biggest Black Widow spider, to show off to the kiddos. The kids were fascinated by it. Parents, not so much. For a demonstration on Black Widow behavior, I was going to open the enclosure so that way they can get a closer look. But as I was opening the door, Sheila, the clever girl she is, sensed the opening and smelled children. Immediately, she busted out of the door and pounced on the screaming kids. First, she bit that little bean curd that bit me in the stomach all those years ago. And in that moment of holy justice, I'm just kidding. Obviously, that didn't happen. I opened the door and she didn't move at all. Was perfectly content on her web, thus proving my point, and all the kids went back to their seats safe and sound. But I am curious, how many of you guys even thought that was true? Not me. I'm like 6 years old and I knew it was fake all along. Sure you did, buddy. Sure you did. It's not good to lie. Now, I admit, I was once like you, a poor, unfortunate, yet handsome soul that you definitely want to subscribe to, who was misled into believing that Black Widows were some dangerous, bloodthirsty monstrosity straight out of a horror film. It definitely didn't help that when I was a kid, my parents let me watch this movie called Eight-Legged Freaks, which was about an army of giant spiders terrorizing a town and their queen being none other than a giant Black Widow. Obviously now I know that that movie was more of a comedy horror and was definitely as corny as those bad sci-fi movies like Giant Octopus versus Giant Croc or whatever.
Get back, you eight-legged freak!
But back when I was a kid, let's just say whenever I saw the big black butt with needles for legs, I just wanted to boop it really hard with my shoe. So yeah, it was definitely a kill on sight relationship. But that was until I had another intervention by none other than Clint's Reptiles. I know I've already referenced his channel, but it's probably not gonna be the last time, so deal with it. Not only did I learn that everything I knew about Black Widows was wrong, but apparently they could even make good pets. And now I want one. And oh look, apparently Tara Green wanted one as well. Now you can buy them online, but aren't cheap. I'm not gonna buy something that I could probably find hiding in my garage, okay? Like I think that if you are going to buy a widow, get a more unique species, like the ones with the red stripes on the back. Or how about a white widow spider? Ooh, that's pretty cool. Don't be like Tara Green where he literally buys like 3 basic as heck Black Widows and paid for overnight shipping. Oh, that hurts. Anyways, in my case, they were pretty easy to find. Common hiding places are like garages, behind drawers, sheds. Basically, just keep an eye out for their webs, which are messy looking, but they're really strong. Makes a snapping noise if you manage to break one. Kind of like that. Oh, there you are. Over the years, I have had 3 Black Widows, Elise, Natasha, and the largest of the 3, Sheila. Something really cool I noticed about them is that they had these really pretty patterns along the side of the abdomen instead of, the typical pitch black you see on the internet. Apparently these patterns are more present in juveniles and will fade as they mature, but I personally like to think that mine are just special. Now, in terms of setup, it doesn't really have to be anything like super complicated. Like, no offense to the ladies, but have you seen where you set up your homes? Literal dumps. I just went with something simple, like this as a tank, threw in some sand or soil, a few rocks, 3 or 4 sticks. Nah, who are we kidding? 4 is way too excessive. Let's just go with 3. But the most fun part of keeping Black Widows is watching them eat. Okay, maybe not this. I was more referring to the catching prey part. So Tara Green had this one segment in his video where he tried to feed his Black Widows via tongue feeding, and I don't know about that. Unlike wolf and jumping spiders, Black Widows have really poor eyesight. So I would think putting a prey of that size would startle the Black Widow, if anything. So instead, they have to rely on vibrations from their webs to tell them information about where their prey is. Once they detect movement, they immediately will scurry over and shoot a fury of webbing to snag its prey. Then they quickly wrap it up, give it a kiss of death before drinking the prey's fluids, slowly. And I mean slowly. Kind of like when John is eating his food, am I right? Hey, I like to take my swell time and savor my food. Don't judge me. Most epic takedowns I've seen is when Natasha swooped down and snags the fly just like this. It's honestly like really epic when they get it right, but they are basically blind, so I have seen them get it wrong, and it is sad. No, Sheila, that's a stick. Stop trying to... she'll figure it out. Now, what does one feed their Black Widow? What's on the menu? I gave them all kinds of things. A well-rounded diet. Crickets, mealworms, flies, red runner roaches that I found in my house, intruders that I found in my house. All good food for my gals. One time I found this green worm thing on my mint plant, and I tried giving it to my other pets, but they didn't want it. And I put it in Elise's enclosure, and she too didn't find it, but then eventually it molted into some kind of fly. Hooray! And then she ate it. Is that cruel? Maybe. But hey, that worm started it. He was eating my mint plant. I need that for my water. Oh, and then this other time... magic. Yeah, I bet you don't get these every day. The only thing I wasn't very successful in feeding them were dubia roaches. But that was because the roaches were being stupid and just kept playing dead the whole time, so the spiders didn't sense anything and they just cut them loose. So that sucked. Anyways, I tell my friends all the time how cool Black Widows are as pets, and they all say the exact same thing. Whoa, but aren't they like crazy dangerous though, bro? To which I say, ha! Kind of. So technically, Black Widows are the most venomous spider in the United States, but if you ask me, honestly, you should just be thankful that you don't have to deal with something like Australian funnel web spiders, which are like not only mean, but are the most venomous spider in the world. So consider yourself #blessed. Hey, but what are you saying about the threat that they pose to us old whippersnappers? Yeah, and me. I'm a baby. Okay, yes, in your case, they are dangerous, and you definitely don't want to get bitten by one. And actually, I do recall one time one of my old classmates got bitten by a Black Widow, and he had to be rushed to the hospital because he had a really bad reaction to the venom. Apparently, he even died for a few seconds before they were able to restart his heart. Clear! According to Google, a bite from a Black Widow spider can result in muscle cramping, spasms, chills, nausea, dizziness, difficulty breathing. So... okay, but I mean, aside from that, you should be fine. #blessed. But that, dear viewer, is another reason I personally just don't have an interest in trying to handle them. Despite seeing multiple individuals on the internet like Tara Green showing themselves handling Black Widows and being perfectly fine. Like, I am confident that my Black Widows wouldn't try biting me, but I've never been bitten before, and I don't intend on risking ruining that record just because I saw someone on the internet doing it. And neither should you. Besides, even if I did want to hold one, I would have to somehow get them out of their web fortress, which means breaking a lot of stuff that they worked so hard to build. It's like destroying someone's home and being like, hey, play with me, which I feel like is kind of rude. So I love my Black Widows, but from a distance. And I would much rather handle something that actually likes to be handled. Like Mango here. Point is, Black Widows are not nearly as scary and evil as they might appear to be. And if you want the most venomous spider in the United States as a pet, just know that they are cheap, if not free, easy to keep, easy to feed. And as long as you don't try something dumb and give them the respect they deserve, it'll make a great conversation topic. So, I keep Black Widows as pets. What? In the same way Clint changed how I saw Black Widows, I hope I was able to do the same for you too. So that maybe next time you come across one, it isn't seen as some dangerous pest, but more as a fascinating pest control clever girl. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and if you like this kind of video, then be sure to check out the video over here. And don't mind him.